Good morning, everyone. Well, Craig suggested that's one of the folks that watches my channel. He suggested that I drill like for the 5-speed and use this, which doesn't take up any space other than using that, because it's a thin nut, and right now it's pretty much utilizing all the threads. I think that first thread on there is like I said before in my other video, it's almost like a pipe thread. The first one is down smaller, and then the next threads are pretty much equal. So right now looks like that one's on there, and I got 75 foot-pounds on it. I probably could go more. It felt good. But I deheat treated this area, and if you can see it, got a little bit of discoloration. I'm not sure if I should reheat treat it, but I really don't think I got into this area, nor into the area where it has the cog. So I threaded 1/4 20, and I've got found a couple of these. I've got assortment of these from that hardware store that closed, and most of it's fine threads. Yeah, most of them are fine thread, but there was a few coarse ones in there, and so going 75. So I just put this up there. Let's see, this should go maybe here. No, that one should work. So that's good. So that'll lock it down. I've got the original one on there. These are centered. I ended up making a kind of a here it is, no-go gauge of, see if I can, that's like about, what did it say? He had told me 70 thousandths is go, 60 thousandths is too narrow. I'm right close to probably 68 or so. And if you have 110 thousandths, it's too much. That's the no-go thing. So minimum is 60, max is too much. 70 looked pretty good. And I found this. It's just let's see, something that had threads on one end. So I found this over here where I've got, well, they seem to be in the wrong one as usual, but pins. I got lots of different pins, of course, then roll pins and these pins. So I smashed her down, measured it out, and I put that in between here and there. Of course, now it's locked in because I was just done tightening this nut. So yeah, that's the space in there. And I guess there's other, and one thing he also said that it looked like it was a little far away when I totally had it in 4th gear. The others were sucked into the pocket. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, it was like only 2/3 of the way in. And I could move that in after I pulled the top off. But when you're running, I guess it pulls it in as much as it can with what the ferrule, the space, and the drum will allow. And one thing I did find, and I figured out that tool that cost $100, how that actually works. Yeah, there's a guy, he'd put in a few things sporadically, and he was working on a 4-speed in his kitchen, and how you actually turn it upside down and stick it into the long slots, and that's the neutrals. And then the others where it moves it around, moves around. So yeah, you do it, you set it here, even though there's no real drum adjustment. You can't do any drum adjustment. But you set it in neutral, poke it in there, then you take it over here and set it on here, and make sure that those things poke into the right holes. But I just kept taking the lid off, checking, double checking, and I finally did. The 1 and 2 was always good. 3 and 4 I actually moved, I think, one of the little things over this way a little bit because I marked that. Because, you know, you take this off, you get confused. There's lots of little, and I was able to use, I didn't have to get any of those washers, real thin washers, spacers. So it, at least that wasn't an expense. They probably aren't much, but, well, at least it's back together. I did pick up another transmission in case this, I was kind of hasty, but I did pick up another transmission. It's all complete. I'm sure I'm going to take the top off, give it a check. I don't think it has the Andrews first gear. This one, obviously, somebody thought that was a good idea, and it probably is. I remember years ago people were doing that. I never had the money to put the to do anything with the tranny. I mean, the best I could do was, you know, go up here. So I didn't end up. I think I went with the. Well, it's a 22 stock. This is a 23. I bought a 24 for $15, but with my O-ring chain, I thought that might be a little close. Now that's another thing he said. Clean it off real good and put some silicone in there, because there used to be a plate over that. Now it's just an O-ring. So any place I can help it so it, you know, oil doesn't sneak out. And I put a little bit in the little pockets all the way around. Of course, the little L clip goes in, push the gear on, and then tighten everything up. 75, I was feeling good. I could have went more. 75's fine, and I think this is a great thing that they did with the 5 speeds. They put that collar rather than something behind there. I think the threads come out further too on the 5 speeds, because I think it is. I think they did make it. Something happened here. So, got a spare one. Maybe I got another one coming. I was just, you know, this thing here, you know, that super nut must have been super cheap and super soft. Well, you know where that goes. Right in the trash. $20 down the drain. Maybe they make better ones. That was a $20 one. Are the $40 or $50 ones, are those made by another company? Hardened better? I don't know. I tell you, heating that up and getting it to slightly glow just a little bit and then letting it cool slowly, I was able to drill, and not super easy, but prior to softening that metal a little bit, none of my drill bits with the drill press could punch through it. They made a little dimple, that was it. And I could tell when I was cutting the threads, it was not hard nor easy. It was like normal when you cut threads. And I heated it up with my fake map gas. That turbo torch I've had for a long time. This one here, you open the top and you fire. I've done a lot of silver soldering with that, with air conditioning lines and stuff. And that really gets the most, I think, out of what they're calling map gas today. Yeah, I did look over the instructions here, and it's just not real, you know, what they tell you in the manual. But yeah, I was able to use the, you know, the quarter 20, and it went in. You know, I did it by hand. I've made the mistake of sticking them on a drill and going slow. Forget that. You need to know how it feels before you know it. You're going to be breaking the tap off in there. I've done that numerous times, being too impatient, shall we say. So I'm glad at least that's together. I'm folks sticking around. I'm still not sure. I mean, everything is good here, like I say, but that extra bracket on both sides I have to make just seems kind of weird. Because that bolt should really go right in that hole. But if that's all I have to do, well, I'm not complaining. So that's a little update, and I've been watching all your guys's from Slick and Sketchy Chopper and My Time and Ed and Kraken's Garage and Rap's Garage and Pacific Mike. You know, he had a great story about the other day about seeing somebody, a hair on somebody's nose and yanking it out. Yeah, I mean, I've been in that situation, especially where I worked. I worked at a church, synagogue. You know, an older person, you know, and then going, you know, I just wanted to get that. It's yelling at me, you know, the hair on his nose sticking out for 2 inches, you know. But I can see where Mike came from on that. That was a good story. Well, I'll catch you guys later and hope it gets warm again. Kind of got cold, a little rainy. I had to run to the market this morning. Kay's making pizza tonight, so she wanted some ham and mushrooms. That's what it was. Good, not canned stuff. So it's, you know, no matter how cold it is, get out and go for a little short ride. You know, smell the atmosphere. You know, smell how it is and just feel the vibrations and so forth. As a matter of fact, most of the lights were out all the way down Cleveland. I figured, well, you know, hopefully the market has power. Otherwise, they're going to stand there and with the computer register, you ain't going to be buying anything. You could leave them a $5 bill, and run out the door. But, well, I'll catch you guys later. Have a great weekend and see you on the flip side. Peace, everyone. You got any input or info or good, bad comments? Give me a holler. Thank you much.